Since we build all our contract schedules using inception to date amounts, it's important to make sure in your current year schedules you pick up where you left off last year. In front of us, we have the 2023 WIP schedule, or open job schedule. 4 jobs were open. Assume these very same jobs closed in 2024. Well, we'll need to factor in the activity from the 2023 WIP schedule when we're building the closed job schedule. The 3 important inputs to have on hand when building current year schedules is the prior year cost to date, prior year build to date, and prior year revenues earned. Now, we're going to fast forward. We're in 2024. Job 1. We had cost to date through 2023 of $30,000. You see $30,000, that ties there. We're looking good. We had $25,000 in costs on job 2, $25,000. The same works for the other jobs. $10,000 and $7,000, $10,000, $7,000. We took the cost to date from the prior year and included it in this column here. Now, all of your current year costs are going to be added to the prior year cost to determine the total cost of the project. From start to finish, you spent $40,000 on job 1, $30,000 on job 2, $20,000 on job 3, and $10,000 on job 4. That's what we talk about inception to date. Prior year costs are coming directly from your prior year WIP. These jobs were open last year, now they're closed. Same idea with billings. $36,000 in billings for job 1, $36,000. $37,000 for job 2, that ties there. $16,000 and $9,000, $16,000, $9,000. Same idea with costs. Take your current year billings this time and add them to your prior year billings to determine the total contract price, your gross revenue for each one of these jobs. $50,000, $40,000, $30,000, and $20,000. That's your gross revenue for each one of these jobs. And obviously you take away the cost, total cost, and you arrive at your gross profit. But that's what we talk about inception to date. From beginning to end, that's what our total contract price is. That's what our total cost of revenue is. It's not what just happened in the current year. It's not $14,000 and $10,000. Remember, take prior year data and make sure it comes from your prior year WIP. These numbers are good because those are the numbers we used in the prior year schedule. Again, these tie back to the numbers here. Now, the other important input here is your revenues earned from the prior year. Revenues earned does not equal prior year billings. Remember, that's why we have WIP. It doesn't matter how much you build. It matters what your estimated gross profit is. That's what's going to dictate how much revenue you're going to recognize. As you can see here, we had billings of $36,000 last year. We had revenues earned of $37,500. Well, where do we get this revenues earned from for the prior year? The WIP schedule. We go to the column that calculates revenues earned and we take that information. $37,500 on job 1, $37,500. $33,333. There we go, $33,333 on down the line. This is how much revenue we recognized in the prior year considering over-under billings. And that's where this information comes from. That's how we know, again, we're working with the correct inception to date numbers. The cost of revenue here does actually tie to the prior year cost because, as you know, there is no WIP with cost. There's no adjustments to cost. Whatever you incur in costs is what you're going to report. So you just take those prior year costs and you can paste them into here. It's obviously the same amount here to determine how much gross profit you recognized in the prior year. I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next lesson.